it's Olivia here with the Tennessee Conservative. Today I'm here with Rep. Jody Barrett, who we're going to talk about a very interesting bill. It's the first of its kind here in Tennessee. It's HB 0570. It's an equal protection bill. So Jody, just tell us a little bit about this bill, what this is.
Yep. So the Equal Protection Bill is seeking to apply the laws of Tennessee, particularly the criminal statute, to all persons, whether they're born or unborn. And so there's a gap in the law right now in Tennessee where certain laws do not apply to people that are still in the womb. And I say people because they are human beings.
Okay, so Tennessee has an abortion ban
Yes.
theoretically already. Why is a bill like this that really kind of uses the words homicide or assault against an unborn person? Why is this bill necessary if we already have a ban?
Well, yeah, it's necessary because that's a bit of a misnomer calling it an abortion ban because all we've really done with the trigger ban law in Tennessee is we've made it illegal for a doctor to perform an abortion. There's still the ability for a mother to perform her own self-help abortion
Mhm.
or order the drugs from other places and that sort of thing. And that's what we're seeing statistically is that the number of abortions in Tennessee have gone up since
Mhm.
the trigger
Mhm.
ban was put in place. So I think according to data that has been collected by the Guttmacher Institute, over 15,000
Mhm.
abortions in 2024 alone.
Yes, and we have written about that at great length. You guys, all of those articles are on the web, on the website. You can see them. But yeah, abortion by pill is now the number one. Over
Hmm.
60% nationwide are performed by pill, and I would assume that number is the same or higher for Tennessee. So then, how would this bill apply to the pill? How does it deal with the abortion drugs, the pills coming in, coming out? How might it affect that part?
Right. Well, there's two different ways of going about attacking the pill that's now being used. You can attack the legality of the pill itself, the production of it, the distribution of it, the delivery of it to people here in Tennessee, and make that a crime. And that's kind of similar to the left approach to the Second Amendment issue, is they want to go after gun manufacturers and make it illegal to even manufacture or sell guns in Tennessee. And I'm coming at it from a different approach, and that is similar to the Second Amendment. I don't think it's guns that are killing people. I think it is people who are using that as a tool to kill people. And it's the same thing with the pill. Uh, the people that are taking the pill are the ones that are actually killing their babies. They're just using a different tool because they found an end around from the trigger ban that we put in place in Tennessee.
So really, what this sounds like is it actually kind of in theory closes a loophole that exists in Tennessee law. So we're not creating any new penalties or statutes or criminal code. We're really kind of closing a loophole that says if we're going to call abortion illegal in Tennessee, then it has to be illegal for everyone, no matter what.
And that's really the underlying effort that we're doing here. The law should apply to everyone equally, and there shouldn't be an exclusion just for mothers. And we talked about this just a few minutes ago. You could put a pregnant mother in a room of a
Mm-hmm.
thousand people, and 999 people in that room could be charged with the homicide of that woman's unborn child.
Mm-hmm.
And there's only one person in the room that could kill that child in front of 999 witnesses and walk out of the room without any criminal liability. And that's a gap in the law that we
Mm-hmm.
need to close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think that speaks to there's been a lot of chatter and a lot of media narrative on this that's saying, well, you're unfairly targeting women, you're just automatically putting the death penalty on women. So talk about maybe that side of the
Yeah.
narrative that's being pushed.
Well, and look, that's folks that are just opposed to anything that deals with pro-life, and it's a ridiculous argument. If you just look at statistics surrounding the death penalty,
Mm-hmm.
you would know how remote that chance is. The death penalty was reinstated in Tennessee in 1977. In 49 years, I think we've sentenced less than 200 people to death in Tennessee, and only 16 of them have actually been executed.
That's nothing.
16 people in 49 years, none of them have been women. There's only one woman right now on death
Mm-hmm.
row, and she
Mm-hmm.
was convicted, I think, in 1996, and we still have not executed her. So uh, the notion that if this bill were to pass and suddenly our criminal justice system is going to create this line of women lined up to go send them to the death row is just ludicrous. And it's a scare tactic. It's rage bait that's designed to scare everyone and then get them to put fear in all of us from supporting something like that.
So maybe we could reiterate. It sounds like the full justice system is still in effect. So a
100%.
DA would have to charge if
Hmm.
they even wanted to bring criminal charges against a woman. If
Right.
they found it was a heinous situation like that, you have to go through your full right to a trial, etc.
Hmm.
Still be convicted and then still be sentenced, which we know anyone who has taken a look at the law might understand that just because you're even tried or found guilty for something doesn't necessarily mean you're sentenced to the maximum penalty.
That's correct. And so what this would do is, just like the criminal justice system now, it's going to take every case and on its own merits and on a case by case basis
Mm-hmm.
determine whether or not a crime's even been committed, and then what is the just penalty for that crime.
Okay. So again, sounds like we're really just making the law all kind of match what already theoretically is in Tennessee law.
That is the goal.
So it's really nothing different. We're actually just rectifying, like we do with a lot of laws all the
Sure.
time, closing loopholes.
And I think it's important for people to understand that Tennessee law already recognizes that an unborn life is a human life in
does.
Tennessee. So you can be charged with double homicide
Right.
if you kill a pregnant woman and she loses the child. You can be charged with vehicular homicide, 2 counts of that if you run over a pregnant woman. So criminal law in Tennessee already recognizes that life in the womb is a human life that you can have criminal liability for. The problem is that the only person that can't be charged under any type of criminal statute right now is the mother.
Is the mother. So
That's right.
that doesn't make sense. So then theoretically, the way that you've explained this law would equally apply to woman, man, and anyone. So if
Yes.
there, I understand there's been some pushback about saying this kind of unfairly targets women, or you're really just only the women. How are men held accountable? Can you speak to that a little bit?
Right. This bill is not targeting women. It's equally applying the law to everyone, man, woman, doctor, whoever the case may be. Because there is that carve out for women, for mothers right now. That's the narrative that's being pushed, is that's who the only people you're after are mothers, and that's just not the case. We want the law to apply to everyone. We think that murdering a child, an unborn child, is the same as murdering a child. And me personally, I have a hard time understanding why we would want to prosecute criminally a mother who kills her 2-week-old or 6-week-old child in the crib, but we won't prosecute her for killing her 2-week-old or 2 weeks or 6 weeks before it's born by killing it in the womb. And so that's where the disconnect is. And the question is, should the laws only that protect life only go into effect when that person passes through the birth canal and breathes its first breath in this world? Or should we be protecting that life from conception all the way through that point? And so, me personally, I think our law should apply all the way from conception.
Which actually, again, sounds very consistent. Like you mentioned, Tennessee law in several places. And there's several bills that we're covering right now that are talking about that a person is considered a person from the moment of conception
Correct.
through birth and anything beyond that. So
Yes.
again, this seems to me like a lot of kind of ruckus about something that really is just making things consistent. So if we're going to say it's a person in the womb, no matter what stage of development it's in, why is that person not being protected the same as
Right.
if they were born 5 minutes ago and you throw it in a dumpster, which unfortunately we hear about a
Right.
lot.
Right.
Those kinds of things.
And again, as we discussed earlier, if everyone else can be charged with a crime for killing a child in the womb, everyone should be able to be charged with a crime for killing a child in the womb.
So what are the biggest roadblocks you see to this legislation through the committee process? You're on the floor, you're dealing it, you're writing it, you're trying to, whip support, get co-sponsors.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there'll be very loud and vehement opposition from the left, that the bloodthirsty left that loves killing babies, and then the challenge within our own party and folks in my caucus will be understanding fully what the bill is trying to do, and kind of looking past the noise and getting to the root of what we're trying to accomplish here. And look, this is an important conversation that we need to have here in Tennessee. Now that Dobbs' decision has overturned Roe versus Wade, we as a state, the citizenry here with our representatives that are up here working for you, are supposed to try to talk about these things and decide how far we want to go in Tennessee to protect life, and what are we willing to do to make sure that our laws are being applied equally across the board. And so that's the beauty of Roe being overturned, is that control is now in our court. That ball's in our court, and so we have to have these conversations, as difficult as they may be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So where is the bill in the legislative process at this moment?
We are in subcommittee in the House. We are on notice for the Population Health Subcommittee. Hopefully, we'll be heard next Tuesday. Um, Next Tuesday or the following Tuesday are the only two opportunities we have because the committees are getting ready to shut down.
Yeah, it's that
So,
time already.
yeah,
Holy cow.
I know. So it's going to happen fast. So hopefully, we will get that up and heard next week.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I hope this was helpful for you guys to really dive into a bill that's unique. We're kind of seeing something done for the first time. So you heard it from Rep. Barrett here, Population Health Subcommittee. If you're interested in this legislation, if you think it's worth supporting, definitely reach out to those subcommittee members and let them know your thoughts. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for tuning in.